In this video, we have referenced prophecies that establish the divinity of Christ. Let's examine each of these closely. 1. Isaiah 7 verse 14.
Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel.
It is foretold that the Messiah will have a miraculous birth from a virgin, which is unlike any human being. Also, Emmanuel means God with us, suggesting divine presence in human form. This prophecy is fulfilled in Matthew 1, verses 22 to 23, where Matthew explicitly connects Jesus' virgin birth to Isaiah's prophecy, affirming his divine presence among humanity. 2. Isaiah 19, verse 1.
Behold, the Lord is riding on a swift cloud and comes to Egypt, and the idols of Egypt will tremble at his presence, and the heart of the Egyptians will melt within them.
Isaiah 19 verse 1 foreshadows Christ's return in judgment, linking the Lord's cloud-riding presence with Jesus' second coming. He is described as coming on the clouds in glory and judgment in Matthew 24 verse 30 and Revelation 1 verse 7, which echoes divine theophany, God appearing in power and glory. Jesus entered Egypt as a child to escape Herod, as detailed in Matthew 2 verses 13 to 15. And as the Holy Family traveled through Egypt, the temples and idols fell over and broke as Jesus moved past them. This was recorded in the vision of Theophilus, the source of the Holy Family's visit to Egypt tradition in the Coptic Orthodox Church. Jesus' ministry as an adult consistently confronted idolatry and spiritual deception, and his return will bring final judgment on all false gods. See Revelation 19. 3. Hosea 11 verse 1.
When Israel was a child, I loved him, and out of Egypt I called my son.
At first glance, this verse refers to the Exodus, God's deliverance of Israel from slavery. But in the Gospel of Matthew, it's directly applied to Jesus, when, after Herod died, an angel told Joseph he can take his family out of Egypt back to Israel, recorded in Matthew 2 verses 19 to 20. Also, in this prophecy, the Messiah is called the Son of God. 4. Isaiah 9 verses 6 to 7.
For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and his name will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there will be no end, upon the throne of David and over his kingdom, to order it and establish it with judgment and justice from that time forward, even forever.
The title El Gibor, Mighty God, is never used for a mere human. It's a divine name, and Everlasting Father implies eternal existence, a trait only God possesses. Jesus is called Son of the Most High and given an eternal kingdom in Luke 1 verses 32 to 33. In John 10 verse 30, Jesus says, I and the Father are one, affirming divine unity. Jesus is repeatedly called Son of David in the Gospels. Matthew 1 verse 1, Luke 1 verses 32 to 33, fulfilling the promise of an eternal Davidic king. 5. Micah 5 verse 2.
But you, Bethlehem, out of you shall come forth one, whose goings forth are from of old, from everlasting.
This verse foretells the Messiah's birthplace, Bethlehem, the same town where King David was born, and his divine nature, from ancient times or from eternity, suggests pre-existence, pointing to his divine origin. Matthew 2 verses 1 to 6 directly quotes Micah 5 verse 2 when the Magi ask Herod where the Messiah would be born. The chief priests cite this prophecy to confirm Bethlehem as the location. Luke 2 verses 4 to 7 records Jesus' birth in Bethlehem, fulfilling the prophecy precisely. Jesus is also described as pre-existent. Before Abraham was, I am, in John 8 verse 58. 6. Psalm 45 verses 6 to 7.
Your throne, O God, is forever and ever. Therefore God, your God, has anointed you.
The Messiah is directly addressed as God, yet also distinguished from God the Father. This prophecy is fulfilled in Hebrews 1 verses 8 to 9. But about the Son he says, Your throne, O God, will last forever and ever. The writer of Hebrews directly applies this psalm to Jesus, affirming his divine kingship and eternal reign. 7. Psalm 2 verses 2 and 7.
The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed. I will declare the decree. The Lord has said to me, "You are my son. Today I have begotten you."
In Psalm 2 verse 2, the term anointed comes from the Hebrew word Mashiach, which means Messiah. The Greek equivalent of Mashiach is Christos, from which we get the name Christ, meaning anointed one. In Acts 4 verses 25 to 28, early Christians quote Psalm 2 to describe the conspiracy against Jesus by Herod, Pontius Pilate, and others. In verse 7, the Messiah is identified as the Son of God, begotten by God himself. In Acts 13 verse 33, Paul cites Psalm 2 verse 7 to declare Jesus' resurrection as fulfillment of divine sonship. And in Hebrews 1 verse 5, Paul uses it to affirm Jesus' unique relationship with the Father. Mark 1 verse 11 and 9 verse 7 echo the "You are my son" language at Jesus' baptism and transfiguration. 8. Psalm 110 verse 1.
"The Lord said to my Lord, Sit at my right hand till I make your enemies your footstool."
Christians take this verse to mean that God the Father spoke to God the Son, Jesus Christ, telling him to sit at his right hand, which signifies exaltation, authority, and divine approval. It's seen as a prophecy of Jesus' resurrection and ascension, where he is enthroned beside the Father. The imagery of enemies becoming a footstool reflects Jesus' ultimate victory over sin, death, and spiritual opposition. Jesus quotes this verse in Matthew 22, verses 41 to 46, Mark 12, verses 35 to 37, and Luke 20, verses 42 to 44, to challenge the Pharisees' understanding of the Messiah. He asks, "If David calls him Lord, how is he his son?" Pointing to the Messiah's divine nature, not just human descent. 9. Zechariah 12 verse 10.
"And I will pour on the house of David and on the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and supplication. Then they will look on me whom they pierced. Yes, they will mourn for him as one mourns for his only son, and grieve for him as one grieves for a firstborn."
This prediction that Israel will see someone whom they pierced is amazing because it is God himself speaking. The Lord is the one who is pierced. This appears to fit later descriptions of Jesus Christ's suffering on the cross. Indeed, the New Testament specifies that this prophecy is truly messianic. The mourning is interpreted as a future moment when Israel recognizes Jesus as the Messiah and repents. John 19 verse 37 quotes this verse after Jesus' side is pierced on the cross, and Revelation 1 verse 7 echoes it, saying, "Every eye will see him, even those who pierced him." In conclusion, not only does Scripture in the Old Testament prophesy that the Messiah is God, but that Jesus fulfills these prophecies, pointing to his divinity. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed our video, don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons below.